Hi Leo, welcome to your November 2022 Taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Leo, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So, November already. Here we are, all right, for your actions and interactions with the world at large over the course of November 2022. You have the Daughter of Cups. So this is actually the Page of Cups, right? So you're very heart-led anyway, Leo. But this month, I kind of feel like it's very much a case of, if this doesn't set me on fire, if this isn't the right thing for me and it doesn't feel right in the heart space, I'm not doing it. It could also be for a lot of you that your intuition is very heightened this month, or you are taking active steps to develop your intuition. So a lot of you could be really delving into this at this moment in time. I actually really like this because it kind of feels to me like you're taking your own destiny, but also your intuition in your own hands. Leos are very psychic beings. You're a cat after all. Cats are some of the most psychic beings on the entire planet. I will say that this month as well, especially as we get into the latter half of this month, actually, I think you're going to start to feel a lot lighter and brighter than you have in a while. So I'm totally here for this. All right. For your communications and conversations, you have the Father of Pentacles. So this is the King of Pentacles. So for some of you, this could be promotion talk, especially with that Page of Cups. For others, this is like, because you're commanding your space or taking your... It's like you're taking your own life in your hands once more. It's like you're taking your own destiny in your hands. And because of that, it's like new opportunities are starting to become available to you. The other thing with the King of Pentacles, it can represent promotions. It can represent pay rises. I've seen this represent people that work literally in physical, tangible industries or arenas, let's say. You've got this coupled with that Page of Cups though, and this is about you following what really feels right to you on a professional level. Like, not consequences be damned, but it's like, no, you know what, I'm gonna do this the way that I really feel it needs to be done, and that is what needs to be more important. For a lot of you, I think you've gone through a period of where you've kind of deferred everything to somebody else, and now you're like, okay, this does not work for me. I have to get back to myself. It also represents an earth sign male, Taurus, Capricorn or a Virgo, who could be an integral part of the way that you present things or move things forward over the course of this month. So it's great. I actually really like this for a trusted advisor as well. For your heart and half sector, you've got the Star card. So for those of you that are single, you could be chatting to someone over the internet this month, right? You could make a connection online, one that you probably don't see coming or you don't expect to make. And it's like all of a sudden you kind of find yourself like, okay, yeah, I think there might be something here. I can definitely tell you without a shadow of a doubt though, if you're a Leo and you're connecting to someone, this person does not live in your area. This is somebody that lives either far away, potentially in another country. Now, I know a lot of you are thinking, well, why would I get involved with somebody that lives in another country? You never know, right? You just never know. So keep that as a consideration. The other thing is, this is likely to be an earth sign. It's likely to be that something develops between you. The other thing with the Father of Pentacles or the King of Pentacles with the Star card, this is likely to be somebody who is a friend, and maybe you're considering how you come out of the friend zone or how you let them out of the friend zone and you start to work something more more intimate. All right, another way that this could show up for you as well is through friends or family or through group endeavors. You might come into contact with people that are potential love interests at a later date. For those of you that are partnered, married or in long-term commitments, I really like the Star card because this is you and your partner looking collectively at your future. This is you starting to ask those questions. How much are we going to need to make that move that we want to make? How much are we going to have to... It's like some healing balm or some soothing kind of energy comes through here. And when it does, I kind of feel like it's going to be a moment of, it's not what I thought it was. Do you know what I mean? Like, so if you've had like a bit of a sort of one of those kind of energies going on here in the relationship, remember the Star card, it's not just about hope and faith for the future, it's also about trust. And so this could be a time where you start to regain trust for a partner if you've been sort of on the outs. It could also be where you and a significant other are really starting to look at how you're, where you're really starting to look at how you're progressing or advancing a lot of what the relationship has been for what it could be. All right, so I kind of like this. It's like you guys are looking ahead. For your money and materials, you have the Seven of Cups. This is not an easy card. I mean, it's better in this deck than it is most, but it is still the Seven of Cups. When it comes to your finances, this would be a really good month for you to start getting a handle on those, on your money, your finances, your resources, whether this is that you're reintroducing a budget or whether you're just getting a bit stricter about where your money is going. This is a time where you're getting really kind of, okay, now we need to get a bit more serious about what is, you know. For your first week of the month, let's have a look. The other thing with that Seven of Cups as well, this could be where you're taking something off your plate financially, or you need to take something off your plate financially. Let's have a look. So for your first week of the month, you've got the High Priestess coupled with the Page of Cups. So whatever's taking place here in this first week of the month, you will either be revisiting it in Cancer season of 2023, so late June coming into early to mid-July. Another way that this could also show up for you though is whatever this eclipse is bringing in. Remember, eclipses always feature you in some way because you are ruled by the sun, and it takes the sun and the moon to happen for an eclipse. So the eclipses for you in Cancer, these tend to hit you harder than they hit most other signs. But this first week, remember the High Priestess's hidden things revealed. This could be something that you have known at a heart level, at an intuitive level, something that psychically you've known, but you couldn't, it's like you couldn't prove it. You didn't have the wherewithal, not the wherewithal, but you didn't have the hard evidence or the proof to back this up. Well, this first week of the month is very likely to reveal to you what you knew on a deeper level, but didn't, that you couldn't substantiate in any way. Another way that this could show up as well is whatever's showing up for you now will be the result of something that you were setting into motion around, Cancer season of this year. So really, really interesting. For your second week of the month, you have the Fool card. New things, new places, new people. That King of Pentacles, it's not somebody that you know. The Fool card coupled with a Court card, it's always somebody new. You got the Fool card here with the High Priestess. When I say a curtain is coming down, and you're going to see a wizard behind the curtain this month, in a way that you never thought you would, or maybe the wizard from behind the curtain that is revealed to you is not what you thought it was going to be. And I've got to tell you, this one is fated. Why? Because it's happening around an eclipse. I mean, this is like literally the second week of the eclipse. So if we take the month in sevens, the eclipse happens on the 8th. So it straddles the previous week and it's the start of the new week. So whatever's happening here in this first 2 weeks of the month, there is a curtain coming down. And when it does, there's going to be a big reveal. And I feel sorry for whoever or whatever is on the other side of that curtain, because they are going to be harshly exposed. That's the heavier side of it. On the brighter side, you're connecting to somebody who's either very wealthy, somebody that's really accomplished at what they do, maybe somebody that takes a shine to you, that wants to help you or assist you in some way. This could also be that you're thrust into a position of leadership, authority, or even wealth that you just didn't expect. play the lottery, do something of that nature, right? Be out there and about there in the world, because that's how some of these blessings are going to find you. But yeah, look out for a new earth sign person that makes their way into your world over the course of this week. For your third week of the month, you've got the Temperance card coupled with the Star card. I actually really like this for, again, that healing, soothing energy around relationships that have been a bit more taut or a bit more frayed. I really like this for reconciliations with friends, people that are colleagues, people that are friends, people that you've been really close to at one point but have fallen out with for whatever manner of reasons. I actually really like this for knitting something back together that was kind of stretched, strained or broken. When it comes to those of you that are single, honestly, and it's funny because I think this same message kind of came up for Gemini but with different cards, and I kind of feel like it is the same message, and that is, I kind of get the sense that whoever you're connecting to this month, it might just be a dalliance. It might come in, there's a little connection, and then that's it, they kind of go out again. But you stay in touch, or this is somebody that you've stayed in touch with for a while, didn't really think anything of it, and suddenly, all of a sudden, things start to really build for you guys in some way. And then when it comes to those of you that are partnered, I've already mentioned those of you that are partnered and married, for your fourth week of the month, you have the Sun card. Beautiful, especially with the Seven of Cups. If you've recently, or you've made a financial move this year, let's say, if I had to give you a time sequence, this probably would have been recently. So if you've made a financial move recently, as in around this kind of time of the year, and you've been a bit like, you know, I don't really know if I made the right move, I've put a lot of money into this thing and I'm not sure, you will absolutely recoup your losses. You will absolutely make that money back. The resources will find their way back to you. Please do not panic. The other thing is, your finances in this fourth week are definitely taking an upswing. I'm here for it. I'm so here for it. Now, in terms of the eclipses, for those of you ascendant Leos to a lesser degree but still relevant, the Sun and the Moon, that full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus is taking place in your 10th house, right at the top of your chart, the most visible aspect of you, what you are, how you present to the world, how they see you, how they receive you, the public persona and social status, all of those things. With an eclipse, all bets are off. Something around you, about you and the way that you present in all the areas that I mentioned is changing, all right? And this one's going to be a biggie. So you probably are looking at the full force of the 6 months. Like eclipses, usually it's like 3 to 6 months. They will unpack whatever they set into motion. This one, I feel, especially if it's hitting you in a really, you know, on a really powerful planet or whatever, like exact, then you will feel this one for the full 6 months, and potentially, you know, even longer than that. For your, for this, you've got, you got the gate 30 and holding. And I laugh at this because that's an eagle, and obviously eagle is known as like the biggest bird in the sky, right? And ultimately, it reaches the height or the pinnacle. We're talking about the height of your chart. Whatever goal, hope, wish, aspiration that you have for your career, you must hold on to it. Even with what comes up as a result of this. Remember, you'll have the event of the eclipse. You've got the run up to it, like the week before. Some people say the month, but I always find it's like the week before things get a bit like zzz, and then it hits and you feel that, and then the week after is a bit zzz. But then after that, it's like after the first sort of 3 to 6 weeks, that's where you start to see, okay, this is what is unfolding because of this. And that gate 30 and holding, it really is about like the eagle holding on for dear life to what you genuinely believe is right for you in this area of your life. Then you've got the Sag new moon, which for you is taking place in the 5th house. Romance, pleasure, love, sex, enjoyment, the dilly-dalliance of life. This is a very lucky house as well. It's going to be a gorgeous Sag new moon. I would absolutely use this to flirt, get your flirt on, get your frolics on, have fun, let your hair down. Not that I've got any, but you know what I mean. Like, this could be a really nice new moon in Sagittarius. I'm actually here for it. Another thing with the 5th house as well, this is about your creativity. It's about the things that you create that bring you genuine or true joy. It's also the house of children. It's the house that Leo naturally rules. So this will be a nice new moon for you guys. And for this, you've got the gate 4 and answer. And I love this card. And the reason I love it so much is because this card isn't a prediction, it's an instruction. This new moon in Sagittarius in the 5th house, I want you to ask a question. All right, so you ask the question and you say, right, okay, universe, I need a new car. Is now the right time to buy a new car? You can't be, oh yes, my intuition tells me this, or, oh, you know, my dreams last night told me that. It can't be that. It has to be, you flick on the radio or the TV and they're talking about discounts on cars and da-da-da-da-da. Or you know, you're speaking to a friend and they're like, oh yeah, you know, so-and-so's selling her car. It's an external answer to a question that you pose between you and the universe. You can ask it outright, but you don't let anybody know what the question is, right? You form the question, you ask it of the universe, and then the answer comes back to you. If it's like, let's say, same story, and it's like, oh yeah, you know, so-and-so just bought a car and it's gone really horribly wrong and it's been a disaster from start to finish, or you turn on the TV or the radio and you hear about a car crash or whatever. It's a no. Obviously, use your own discernment, right? But have some fun with this. This is something that I do a lot of anyway. And it wasn't until the wonderful Denise Matthew, who designed this deck, she said to me, like, the reason you're doing this is because it's a part of your human design profile. Just phenomenal. And it was such an amazing thing because on one end I was really doing this very intuitively, and then other times I'd completely jumped the gun, and she was like, yeah, it's because you didn't wait for your answer. Alright, so have fun with this. Use the Sag new moon. The Sag new moon anyway is a time of fun and enjoyment most of the time, not always. But this one, play with it, have fun with the universe. I think it will definitely be a welcome reprieve from all of the heaviness and the intensity of Scorpio season. I'm so over it. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic month. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.